morning to you, and today is the Super Tuesday once again, 10th of August, Tuesday. All right, I know some of you are still on the bed because this holiday for most of us, okay? But then for us, it's like for me, yesterday I'm still doing MAO, today I'm still doing MAO. So practically every day, Monday to Friday, regardless of stuff, right? There's always MAO available for you. So today's caption, inflation eating consumers. Let's buy more Bitcoin towards 100,000. Now, yesterday we saw gold plunge and it went down by $70 at one stage. Now, some of the platform actually saw $80. That's why I want to let you know that different platforms will have different numbers, and that is the thing about CFD traders. So some platform actually went down even lower than the low we saw yesterday. And of course, that will probably kill off more traders. Usually, such things will happen, okay? And when brokers, who are those unscrupulous ones, they actually dive the market lower so that it basically, will create more problem to the traders who have low capital. And that's the reason why I keep on reminding you, some brokers may look very pretty outside, but they could be quite bad, very bad when it comes to such crazy movement in the market. But of course, at the same time, people ask me this question, Cal, if that's the case, then what should we do now? Because equity market is at high, stock what do you call, the gold is coming down. So isn't that Bitcoin be the best bet now? Now, if you're going to buy Bitcoin when it was 30,000, I will say that it's a right choice. But now if the Bitcoin now trading at already 46,000, and you're telling me now to jump into Bitcoin at 46,000, I will say that I will give it a miss first at this point. I don't mind letting it pull back down because always the market is always there, and it's always better to buy something that can make money for you than the chance of you losing money is there. Okay, got my point up here? All right. So I know that you guys want to know about the Hang Seng market, but don't worry, we'll go to that in very, very short term. All right, but let's just look at this one here. When the hunter become the hunt, all right. Hey, I thought we were the consumers. Now you can see that this is actually a picture of Godzilla, I think. All right, eating up the human, and because this Godzilla is representing inflation. Now, I'm not too sure, do you notice this, or have you noticed that you are paying more for your food stuff? Now, how many of you, there's 35 of you right now, right? How many of you have observed that you are paying more for your daily necessity? That means that you notice that, hey, your food get more expensive. The basic necessity you're buying, your shampoos, your soap, your detergent is increasing in price. Have you observed that? If yes, please key the word yes, okay? If you see and you have realized that, please key the word yes. If you say no, just key the word no. All right, let me see what's your answer. Okay, so we have Fred who said I have. Lewis say yes. Carl say quite some time already. Okay, Anthony, Toming, there's Janet, Kelly, Vincent Pang, and David. All right, exactly my point. I felt that way. I really realized this when we can see we go get a packet of chicken rice. You can see that the meat are actually rather lesser. Duck rice also. And of course, when you go and buy some grocery like eggs and stuff like that, you also realize the price go up by 5 cents to 10 cents. So the problem is that it's increasing, but because it's going on at a very rapid rate, at least for Singapore, so we don't feel that pain. But if for those people who really count the dollar and cents, they will realize that it's increasing. So of course, if Singapore can feel that way, then you can be confirmed that other countries will likely feel the same, and that will be worse. Okay. All right, so before we go to the charts and stuff like that, disclaimer as usual, please consider to make sure that you do a risk management before we engage into the trading battle. All right, like I say once again, is that if you are going to look for a way to cover or to so-called hedge against inflation, the only way is to make more money. And to make more money, you need to find an avenue to make more money, and that's why we are talking about this MAO this morning. Okay. All right, so before we go to the charts, the hard part is discipline, patience, and judgment. All right, so this guy Sid is saying that, right, this is the important part for trading, which I also agree. Discipline is for following the system that you have created for yourself, okay? Patience is the way for the best time to buy. And judgment is always asking ourselves, right, what are you seeing right now that it's going to be different? So trading is actually quite easy because it's a finger and your buttons. But to acquire the skill to trade well, it's going to be difficult. And I totally agree. So later on Super Tuesday, right, we will do this sharing today. Today, we will cover MA30 and MA200 usage, right? This is the first time I'm covering this. I will let to go through you in details how to do MA30 and MA200 in the right way. Okay? All right, I think that'll be pretty fun, right? So later on, don't miss it. Okay, so let's study the charts for today, whether the market go bulls, go moo, or market go grr. We will let the market know, or should we just follow the market lemmings? Okay, let's go right now to the market, shall we? Now, a friend of mine asked me a question yesterday in the evening. Cal, do you buy gold yesterday when the gold plunged? Okay, so because there's no point to lie, so I say I just bought some very small quantity. Then I've got this friend asked me, why didn't you tell the students then? Then I said that, what can I tell? It's catching a falling knife. Then he asked me back this question, isn't that very dangerous to catch a falling knife? I say, yeah, I totally agree with you. That's why I don't tell. So the question is this, should I tell or don't tell? Because now gold price recover from the low, so people get unhappy. But the problem is that if I told you to buy gold yesterday at about 168.90 and gold now is 1550 example, then you will kill me. So that you understand the point is that it's always very difficult to give discretional call. That's why I rather keep to myself and say, never mind, this is okay. But anyway, the quantity is very small. It's really negligible. It is something that we know I can afford for that itself. So that's why I didn't want to share, because I don't want to give the wrong impression. Then after that, traders get upset, and then we have a lot of things to settle. So that's why. But then again, Cal, then why do you buy gold then? Well, I bought gold for a very simple reason, because I felt that gold sell down was a little bit not required. Because if you notice this yesterday when gold plunged down, right, you look at CNBC, you look at Bloomberg, they really didn't cover much. I was scanning through the CNBC yesterday. Seriously, we don't see anybody talking about gold coming down a lot. And it was basically because of a $4 billion unwinding position that causes it. So I'm not too sure who will want to unwind $4 billion at this stage right now. But definitely, when someone sell, right, I always tell you this, when there's a selling or buying, there's always a buyer and seller effect. So if someone has sold $4 billion worth of gold down the market, so by right itself, there's also $4 billion worth of gold being bought up. You understand my point? So it's about the willingness that creates a price differential. So which means that if I'm willing to sell at a lower price, the price will jump down faster. If I'm willing to sell the price only at this current price, then the price will just stay at this price. So it's always like this. It's always about the willingness to buy and sell. It's never about the buyer more or seller more. It's equivalent. Okay. I don't know how many of you can understand this, but that is how I always see the financial market. All right. Anyway, I hope you get my point this morning about this thing here. I'll talk more about gold shortly. Now let's look at China A50 right now. Now China A50 is now trading lower. It's trading below the BNB is right here. Can you see that the BNB? So trading below the BNB RL right now, and the MLP is somewhere around here. Okay, the MLP is somewhere around here at 15,467. Right down for you. $15,467. Okay, that is the MLP for the white candle. All right, rough estimate. And of course, we now have the MA30 that is somewhere very near to it. I told you before that as the market now consolidate, the MA will come down slowly. That is how it works mathematically. And also it's below the MA200. Okay, so very simple. I will still say the same thing. Whenever the market is trading below the MA30, you're looking for, as long as below MA30, right? When you go below OP, that's justify the sell. That's all, simple as that. Okay, so the only support that we're looking now will be the MLP level at 15,467. So if the market can stay above 15,467, it's still okay for buying. But if the market stays below it, then there will be some selling. Okay. All right. So that will be the China A50 right now. Now, if you look at China 50, then we roughly know what will happen to Hong Kong market. Let's look at Hong Kong right now. As we can see, Hong Kong market now is below trading below MA30 and MA200, and it's also at the moment now trading lower than the opening price. The MLP is here, but do note there is the new BNB yesterday. There's a new BNB, so there's a new BNB. Oh, I have to put it in. For those who love the alternate market views, all right, alternate market views is a segment whereby we cover all the interesting charts that usually the mainstream media don't cover. Then if you like the segment particularly, then I will suggest you to hang on until the very last slide. Yeah, because that is whereby we're talking about interesting correlationship where the boys are now putting again the stock market with 1987. Okay, so if you like that, but that particular segment, you can just stay tuned all the way until the last part. Okay, all right. So someone asked me this question, Cal. We love your alternate market views. We hate your alternate market views. Okay, so those who like will wait until the last part. And because you have to wait to the last part, right? Some people complain and say, Cal, I must wait for 1.5 hours before you go to that moment. Can you push it forward? So imagine I push it forward itself, right? What will happen? Likely, whatever I say later on, right? Anything I say bullish, you won't even go through your thought process. So that's why we still put it back at the back side. Okay. All right, to the versus back. All right, so we can see right now the MLP is here and the Hang Seng is trying to, try to recover from the low end right now, but it's still trading below the BNB RL level. So that's why I still think that Hang Seng will let it be sideways for this today, in my opinion, sideways. Okay. So that is the conventional chart. Let's look at the actual chart right now, the Dow and the whole market. Okay, now you can see that what's happening right now on the screen. Okay, this is the, let's look at the Hang Seng. Now the Hang Seng opening price this morning is above the pivot 1, okay, above pivot 1. So it's above 26,387. The KSI is red, so that means the selling pressure is there. So what should we do? Now, very simple. I'm going to draw you the chart, right? This is what you draw every day. The opening price is here. Now, because the KSI is red, shall it goes above OP, KTR plus 1, there'll be a good time to take some profit because the KSI is red. If the market goes below OP, then the chance of it going down to KTR minus 1 is much higher. Okay, that is something that you must remember. How do you see this bell curve with the KSI? Now we look at the market itself. The market opens above pivot 1. So by right, above OP, above pivot 1 is a buy. By right, huh? But once it goes below P1, then this buying reason is no longer established. So therefore, right, there will be profit taking. So if that's the case itself, right, if the market do a CCYR at the pivot 1, then there is a good chance that the market may take profit towards KTR minus 1. Can you understand that? So that is a very systematic approach to how we see this. And now we look at it now, really happened. The market really did a CCYR at the OP point at what we said. And we say that it will go down to KTR minus 1, which already really traded the KTR minus 1. So which means that, right, if you understand how to utilize this, the first 2-3 minutes, right, you were traded, the first 10 minutes you have traded the Hang Seng and you will have very profited. So to make it simple to understand, we go to the 1 minute chart. Okay, 1 minute. So you look at the 1 minute chart now, can you see clearer now? Now, because Hang Seng is a very fast market, very fast. So even 1 minute chart is not too difficult to play with it. So if you remember the rule, if the market creates a CCYR and is below OP and it breaks below the pivot 1, it will go down and the target will be KTR minus 1. And indeed, the market triggered. You got my point. So actually, right, you can actually do something like this if you are able to accept the volatility. So which means that probably about 10 minutes later, you have already taken your profit at KTR minus 1. Now, we never say that Hang Seng cannot trade minus M1. I mean, I'm quite sure I would never say that. I said that it's better to trade M5 because at least it gives you some time to react. But of course, some people who are very fast and very quick, they can actually do M1. So similarly, when you all use M15 for gold, M15 for Dow Jones, it's not that we don't let you use the M15 sorry, M5, M1. We don't mind you going for M1 and M5, but I just said, I don't know whether can you take it. That's all. If you can take it, no one will say no to you. Okay, you got my point. You can do that. Okay, that's why we open up. Last time, our TWB system, you cannot open any time frame other than M30 and D1. Now you can open any time frame you like and just trade according to the rules, because the rules are fixed. Okay, the rules are fixed. You cannot change it. Okay, all right, so clear on that. So with that particular movement right now, okay, if the Hang Seng continue to go down lower, it should be able to hit KTR -2. I repeat, it should be able to hit KTR -2. And KTR -2, let me write for you just in case some of you can't see it. KTR -2 is 26,236 level. Okay, all right, that was the KTR -2 level. Now, of course, you ask me, Cal, will you go there or not? I mean, I tell you, as long as the market is below OP and KSI is straight, anything can happen, especially like KTR -1, -2. It's usually very easy to trade the levels. Okay, all right, clear on that. Okay, so it seems like coming down. We could see happening in about a few more minutes if it's going to continue, but of course we just continue first. We'll come back to this later. Now, how about the Dow Jones? Well, Dow Jones, we saw the new record high on Friday. Then Monday, yesterday, there was some profit taking. The market took away the MLP. So today, how do we look at the Dow? Well, very simple. Let's go to MLP first. Okay, MLP for today, Dow Jones is at about 35,151. Okay, I'll write it down for you. 35,151 is the MLP for the Dow Jones. Okay, the nearest BNB, I'll come to that later. But the moving average for today, we are down here now. The moving average for today, Dow Jones, is at 34,932. Now, of course, my number and your number may be different depending on the screen size here. The screen size you're actually showing on your own mega screen or small screen. So everybody MA will be different. Like throughout the day, the next minute the MA will be different. The next minute the MA will be different. That's the reason why MA itself, right? You need to put a number and stick to it already. You cannot look at it and trade. That's not the right way to do. I'll be honest with you, all right? But again, different school, different train of thoughts, and different teaching. So I will not want to say anything, but I already tell you my personal view. Okay, then the BNB is this guy here, right? This is the latest BNB. So this is the BNB RL. And this is a BNB SL. Okay, so now we have a very interesting thing. We have a very tight, right, very tight range in all the charts recently. It's like they're all in a box trying to explode. Well, from the way I look at it, is that the market did test the BNB RL already. So there is a fine possibility that the market may be going up. I repeat, there's a fine possibility that the market may be going up. Okay. What's the win rate for M1? Colin, it's very difficult to tell you that what's the win rate because first of all, we never went down to M1 to do the statistics for Hang Seng. But I think that the logic is still the same. Because why? I mean, the thing is that when I talk about if the market goes down, you go to KTR -1 or go to KTR +1, right? So whatever happened in between there, the final direction is still going to the target point. So the only thing is that in terms of the color change, how many times would it needed to go to that level, right? It may be 1, maybe 2. So that's the reason why I said that it's all about which one you prefer. Yeah. So yes, definitely M1 will keep on flipping. That's why we do not want you guys to go that level. But again, people sometimes say, but I want it to be early. I want to go in as fast, as quick as possible. That's why. So if you think that M1 is kind of like too fast for you, then you just avoid it and do M5. You understand? Now, some people ask me, Kel, can you create one just for M1? Then it would be better, right? Let's put it this way. If I create one for M1 itself, right, what will happen is that you will see the market go to total chaos. That's why we don't do that. There's a reason why certain things we don't want you to do because it's really not necessary. But of course, if you want a better price, you want faster, then go down to a lower time frame. That's what I'll always tell people that. Okay, anyway, That is what I'm seeing right now. So we have a very big consolidation around this area here. So which means that the Dow Jones, in my opinion, once again, is that the Dow Jones should be going into a very big movement soon. We're talking about probably 400. We're going to look at a potential of 400 points breakout or breakdown. Now, 400 points breakout will be new all-time high. 400 points breakdown is not really a big movement. It's a bit roughly around this point here. So still okay. All right, it's just that this consolidation, I don't like it because it consolidated too long already. And despite all the good news are in the market, it's still not able to break out, right? That is the only concern that I have right now. Okay, anyway, this is what the Dow Jones showing now below below MLP, but above MA. So it's kind of like in between. All right, if you ask me, as long as the market don't trade above MLP, there's no reason to buy. Okay. Now, of course, the thing is this: if you are a trader who have no time to look at the market, then of course, the H1, H4 day chart, weekly chart is better for you. Okay, but if you're in a hurry to make money and you want the decision to be fast and quick, then of course a lower time frame like M1, M5, M15 will be worth it for you. So it's again really depend on your personal character and what you really want. You cannot tell me that you want it fast, but you don't want to carry risk. I think there's no such thing. If there is something that you can enter fast and no risk involved, then I tell you that I think everybody will be there already. All right, that's how I see it. So that's why some people argue that no, the longer time frame is better. Some people argue the shorter time frame is better. We're not going to say who is better. At the end of the day, it's based on own character and your own risk adversity. Yeah. All right, so what we see right now for the weekly chart, again and again and again and again, the market just knowingly just stopping above the trend line that I draw. Now, do know that this trend line I draw was since April already. Since April, this trend line was with me all the way. And then after that, it stabilized, the same thing. And of course, every week, it seemed they just know where to stop. So as long as the market stays on this trend line, it's not going to stop. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are onto our 7th week already. Now, usually when I see a market hanging by the thread for a long period of time, we all know that this is artificially drawn. So which means that something could be happening or something could be in the pipeline in the coming weeks. So until we see a clear cut, first one clear cut short, if not, we will not do anything here. Okay, so 7 weeks already and still counting. All right, so that will be the Dow Jones with the Hang Seng right now. Oh, wow, Hang Seng had traded the KTR -2 as I told you, and it really, really happened. So imagine now if you're telling me, Cal, see, I didn't trade because you tell me to wait, or I traded but I only make 1 KTR. If I do M1, I will make more money, you know? It's always like that. Anyway, I told you, because the day chart KSI is red below OP, and if there's a pivot point, you can go for short, which is here. If you just now you have followed what I just said, you were shorted here, and then after that you have bought back here. Okay, so that is the point. All right, you have made some money, about approximately $80 for 0.01. You know, that's quite a good 80 points. That's a lot of money. Okay, so it's all about how you perceive the market, guys. All right, the rules are fixed already. You cannot run away. The rules are really, really fixed. Okay, all right, done. Okay, so you can see that the Hang Seng win rate for us is quite decent. We are quite consistent with our result. We will lose at times, but we are able to win most of the time, right? So versus what people say about Hang Seng is very difficult to trade or very volatile, this and that, is because they don't have a set of rules, but we have. So that's why we are able to repeat the same thing again and again. Okay. All right. So let's look at channel 850. Okay, it's still down, trading towards the NLP right now. Okay, let's look at the Dow Jones for today for our own chart. Okay, sorry to move away from it. Okay, so what we have right now, let's take a look. Okay, why am I drawing this? Oh, this is a zebra, huh? Is it? Yeah, that's zebra, okay. All right, so what we have right now is today is interesting. Okay, today we have an interesting day. The opening price is below pivot 2. 35,136, but the KSI is green. Okay, so everybody now, I want you to try it out. Okay, if I call you now at 6 a.m. in the morning and inform you the Dow opening price is below pivot 2, but the KSI is green, what will you say to me? Right. For buy, what would you say? For sell, what would you say? Can someone text me while I get my supplement for the day? For those who know, this is reserve. Anyone? Can you tell me what will you tell me if I call you at 6 a.m. in the morning and I tell you this? What will you say to me? Right. Is the thing updating? Okay, Fred says sell on CCYR below OP and P2, but consider take profit at KTR -1 to -3. Excellent. Okay. Okay, Min Hui, CCYR just short. Okay. Okay, the answer that I want to hear is almost correct for Fred. Almost correct. Yeah. All right. The thing is this. Okay, Michael came in above OP, above pivot to CCRY buy. Okay. Below OP, CCYR sell. Okay. Got a buy side now, but didn't have to complete the sell side where the PP level. Okay, so let me say the model answer. Okay, model answer. The answer will be, all right, above OP cannot buy. Why? Because above OP to pivot 2 is an uncertainty zone, so shouldn't buy. But if it goes above P2, then yes, any CCRY can buy, especially with the KSI is green in color. You can aim for KTR +1, +2, or even +3. That's a buy side. If the market now trades below OP, CCYR is a sell because it's already below P2 right by then. And you can go for KTR -1 or -2 for profit, but I will give more, I'll buy more, I buy back more at KTR -1. Why? Because the KSI is green. Will it go to KTR -3? There is a possibility, but it's not going to be high. Correct? So that is the reason why you can see now between the first segment and the second segment, it doesn't sound the same. Okay? So all clear on this? If everybody is clear on what I just offered to you, please key number, please text clear over here, right? If you understand what I just said to you, please key clear. Okay, all right. Thank you again for Michael and Min Hui and Fred who contribute your sharing. Okay, that is very important. That is really very important. So yes, indeed, for now, this morning, I will say that for those who want to short the Dow Jones, if you want to, I say it's too early at the moment, but if you insist, then you can short it, but you must try to take a profit when you go to KTR -1. So KTR -1 for today will be here. Okay, now there will be a TSCB resistance support first. Then if it goes down further, then we'll see this number at 34,979. That means you will lose the 35,000 handle if let's say nothing happened. Okay, 34,979 will be the KTR -1. So if you have shorted the Dow Jones for whatever reason, then you must consider to buy back later at this point. Okay. All right, that is the most important thing that you have to take back for today's MAO. Okay, done. Okay, let's look at NASDAQ. Now, NASDAQ continue to move higher. Okay, you can see that NASDAQ yesterday came down. All right, but it was interestingly resisted by its own MLP yesterday. Interesting. So for today, MLP, let's take a look. Now, today's MLP is at 15,117. 15,117. Okay. 15,117. So as long as the market loses the MLP, the market has the potential to go and test back the MA30. Now, why do I highlight MA30 today? Because MA30 is very near today. MA30 is very near today, 14,975. So we're just about 40 points away. All right, 40 points away. Sorry, 140 points, my bad. So 14,975. Also, that means that if the market do touch the MA30, it will lose the 15,000 handle. Okay, handle. Now, why am I today leaning or leaching towards the sell side? Why? Because I don't like the way gold moved yesterday. Okay, and the way gold moved yesterday doesn't give me a good feel of what will happen on equity market. So that's why today, if the rules allow me to short the equity market, I will be looking to short. You heard me right? Yes. Today I'm saying this: if the rules allow me to short, allows me to short the equity market today, I will look to short. And those technical points will be the key pivotal point for me to buy back some position and watch out for the market. If the market support from there, it's time to buy back your shorts. But if the market loses those points, then we should see some more selling. Okay, so that is what I'm sharing with you today regarding about my view on the equity market. All right, I explain more in detail shortly during the as we go along. Okay, got it. So you look at the we go NASDAQ today day chart. We can see that now the day chart showing you a potential zebra formation. But what I don't like about the chart today is that the KSI is red in color. So which means that the market is going to side towards the sell side today if the market goes below OP. So when the market goes below OP, in this case today, now today opening price is also above pivot 1, by right, it's a buy. But if it goes below OP and below pivot 1, now do understand this one is very different from the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones KSI is green, but this KSI is red. So then that means if the market go down below pivot 1, right, there are higher chance to see KTR -1, 2, -3. Can you see the difference now? Earlier to Fred itself, I only talk about KTR -1 and -2, and -2 is a bit forcefully said. But I'll come to NASDAQ, I didn't hold back. I say that if the NASDAQ do pull back, it can go down to KTR -1 easily, and -2, and in fact, possibly to go to -3. Can you see the difference there? All right, now, of course, all these are all what we can see from the chart and prepare ourselves. Whether the market go there or not, that's another thing. You must understand that there's no such thing that, oh, call for sell will go down to that point, call for buy will go to this point. I mean, that is really, I would say, the snake oil selling point. We are here, technical trader. We know exactly what the technical point is. We just have to follow. Okay, there's a difference. Okay, all right. Other people, when they tell you this, tell you that, is a view. All right, and if it happens, they will be basking on it, but not for us. We just have to tell you that this is a view. Okay. All right, S&P 500, let's do this right now. You can see the S&P 500 now. Yesterday is a doji. Now write it down, my friends, doji. S&P is a doji, all right? If it's a doji, what will happen? Right, we always know, if we see a doji, what usually will happen the next day? Can you tell me, guys? If let's say we see a doji day, what will happen the next trading day? Can you tell me? What is the expectation of the market? Can someone tell me? Yeah, let me know. Let me take your take. Okay, all right, your answer is directional day, DD. Yay, correct. This is the model answer that we are looking at. Directional day, so Fred, Angeline, Jerry, Lewis, there's Anthony, Susan, Michael, Cheng, and Cheng Kui, and this is Janet. Directional day is one movement. Big movement is, a couple of days movement. So Michael, the right answer will be directional day. big movement, no. Big movement only meant for big movement like for a few days or a few weeks. And that's only after we see a zebra or a BNB movement. But normally it's more for zebra. Lah. All right. So you're not, it's not wrong, just that it's not that correct. Okay. So I want to just correct for you. Okay. Yeah. So what are we seeing right now? Wow, we are seeing some selling already in the market, especially right now. The S&P is now trading lower. It's trading at 44.26 right now. S&P is trading lower at 44.26 right now. Okay, the question will be, is the market able to sustain the upside? Well, we had to look at the MA30. Okay, hold on. Okay, first of all, the MLP for today for S&P is going to be here at about 44.35 level, and already it loses 44.35 level. That is already a first sign of a bit of trouble. Then the MA30 will be here, and that's 43.93. Wow, okay, 43.93. The BNB, let's take a look. Let's be sure the BNB, here we are here. The last BNB is here. Okay, so let me give a very bold statement here based on what we're seeing right now. Now, based on what we know, usually after a doji day, we'll see a directional day. Now, of course, some people may say, how sure are we? Well, you just have to backtrack and see all the doji day. Those days are doji, yeah? Okay, what will happen the next few days, all right? Of course, there's a possibility of 2 doji days side by side, but after that, you notice that the market usually trends. Okay, so what I'm seeing right now is that the BNB RL and SL shows me that today it coincides with the MA30. So when we see something like this, usually the market will be attracted towards it. So which means that there is a possibility that today or tomorrow we could see the S&P going down to 43.93 level if it stays below the MLP. The MLP for today is 44.35. Okay, so I'm going to put a very strong statement here. Okay, yeah. Write it down for you guys. S&P, if stays below MLP of 44.35, we can see 43.93. Now at 44.26. Okay. All right. Now, if the market can go above the MLP 44.35, then it's going to be all-time high. Okay. S&P, if goes above MLP, it will go for all-time high. All right, can you see that? So I already given you my take of the day that you guys will make your own decision. Okay. Now again, all this sharing is based on the chart, and of course I will pick out the best chart in my opinion to share with you. And of course, by the end of the day, whether or not you make money or you lose money, you have to do your own risk management before we, I cannot be liable for anything here, but you must know that at least I can share with you things that you have learned before and you can try on it. Okay, clear? All right. So that is my view on the S&P 500. So traders, take note of that. Okay. So now I'm going to bring S&P chart right in for the day chart. Okay. Now the day chart today is a bit different from what the conventional looks like now. Okay. Yeah, different. Huh? The OP for today is actually between the two pivots. So by right above OP, it will be a buy. CCRY will be a buy. And the KSI is green. So which means that above OP, above P1, you just buy. Okay. Now, if it goes below OP right now, then by right is a sell. But because the KSI is green in color, so which means that even it goes down to KTR -1, you should buy back some profit, and go to KTR -2, buy more. Now, the probability of going to KTR -3, I think is going to be very, very small chance, right? Now, this is very different from what I said earlier on conventional, right? Because conventional, I can tell you what I see from the conventional chart. The TWB system may not give me the same thing. That's the reason why we show you conventional, we show TWB. So if let's say one of them is not able to give me the same direction, then I'll be very careful. I will basically take profit along the way. But if let's say that the both of them give me the same sell or same buy signal, right? Then of course I'll be very clear to know what to do. Got my point. So for now, if you ask me, let's look at the 15-minute chart. Wow, what happened? Okay, there's some jump down selling. Let me just refresh the screen again, just in case. Okay, seemingly it's a jump down. How about the rest of you? Can you check your own platform? Those who are not using AIMS, not a trick question, it's okay. All right, if are you able to tell me, is there a jump in price like this? It's like 1.5 point jump. Something must have happened. Not too sure what have happened. Some orders came in. Okay, so anyway, what we're seeing right now, it should be going to KTR minus 144.21. Now, 44.21 will be the first target level. So for those who shorted S&P, if you want to take profit, you can go for 44. 44.21 will be the KTR minus 1. Now, the pivot 2, as you can see, pivot 2 is 44.17. Only if the market goes below it, then you can aim for the next level, 44.06. Normal, Dow also dive down. I don't think that's normal. Normal means that the market go down together slowly. That's normal. When suddenly market just open gap down and down by a couple of points, right? Something must have happened. Something must have triggered something. Either a sell stop, or it's a barrage of selling, or a news came out. Yeah, that is not normal. Normal means that go down slowly. That's normal. I'll go up together slowly, that's normal. Okay, so I'm sure later there will come out some news. If it didn't come out news, it's worse. If a market come down without news, it's even worse. Okay, 44.06 will be the next level. We're looking at KTR minus 2 level if the market goes down. Okay, all right. I already tell you today, my personal view is that I suspect that today we should see some selling, but that's my personal view. Okay, don't get too serious on it. Okay, all right. So that's Hang Seng now. Hang Seng is now down slowly, only below MLP. Probably that's one of the reason. China 50 is also down, break the MLP. So maybe that is a spillover. We don't know. Now, DAX yesterday misses the all-time high by some points and pull back. Not a very good sign because you can see now, how come okay. The MLP is here, right? MLP is here. Yesterday, the DAX went past the MLP and then rejected and come back off. So that's not a very good sign. Normally, when MLP get rejected in uptrend, right, not a very good sign. Okay, take it down somewhere. Okay. All right. Then after that, we have the nearest BNB. The nearest BNB. Yeah, I'm very lazy, so I'm just going to do this. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So that's the last BNB is here. So let me just change my indicator. Okay, the last BNB is here. So the BNB couldn't pass the BNB RL, and now it's going to test back the SL. But SL already given, so you cannot really utilize it anymore. So you just only can see for visual sake. Okay, so it's below MLP, and it is this is the MA30. MA30 is 15,603. So by right, we should see a potential pullback to about this point here. But once the market hit the MA30, I strongly believe that you should look out for buyback position. And if you are want to go long, consider around here only. Okay, consider around here. Oh, okay, Eric, some selling, yeah, okay. But again, like I said, if they do it together, right, that means there's something that is causing it. Like maybe China, China is coming down. Maybe they do a bit of, you know what they do? They do this system algorithm trading. That's very usual recently. Okay, all right. So anyway, so no news is good news. At least we know that this is the DAX outlook now. Nikkei has went past the moving average. Now this morning when the Nikkei opened, All right, yesterday already closed above the MA30. So that's why this morning the algorithm kicked in, the Nikkei shoot up from 27,919, it went to 28,119. So it went up by 200 points because of the algorithm. Because once you break the MA, I told you before, right? The market, if you use the MA carefully, you notice that the more it compresses itself, the moment it breaks out only, right, all the system will come in and buy. So later on, we talk about this during the Super Tuesday sharing. So now for Nikkei, as long as it stays above the MA30, right, Nikkei is a buy. I repeat, as long as Nikkei stays above the MA30, Nikkei is a buy on its own, okay, on its own. So the level to watch out for the Nikkei will be at 27,858. Now again, I repeat myself many times. There's no right time to put the MA level. Usually the best time is around 8 o'clock, 8 to 9 p.m. This period is the best, most consistent time. All right, if you want to ask me a particular timing to put the MA30 or MA200 figure, okay? All right, so as long as Nikkei stays above 27,858, the Nikkei should be up. But if the Nikkei cannot stay above that, then we should see some selling already. So traders, just take note of this. Okay, all right, Nikkei. So of course, if you look at the Nikkei chart, okay, today Nikkei chart opening price already above pivot 1, right? So by right above pivot 1, above OP, CCRY will be a buy. So you see that this morning Nikkei, once it breaks above OP, straight away Nikkei shoot up all the way to KTR plus 2. And because the KSI for the Nikkei is green, that's why the go KTR plus 2 is quite is very high possible. KTR plus 1 is almost 100%. KTR plus 2 is about 70%. And you see that the market just go all the way. All right. Now, of course, will the market go to KTR plus 3 when the market is all good? Of course. But your job as a trader is always to take profit as the market scale the KTR. Some people ask me, Kel, why don't we just put a KTR plus 3 and then we'll be very happy, a lot of money? I say that is if the market go to KTR plus 3. You must understand that KTR is created from OP and OP is created by the boys. But if the market gap it up too high or gap it up too low, gap it down too low, it will create the false price of yesterday's and today's market. So that's the reason why even though by textbook answer, they can go to KTR plus 3, but if the market open and let's say close here, but open too high, then the standard deviation is from the OP. So the market may not go to KTR plus 3, even though the KSI is green. So that's why KTR plus 1 will be even better. What's next? What is the level, please? What is the level of what? The level for MA30? Okay. The MA30 for today is 15,603. Okay, 15,603, that will be the MA30 level. But it's kind of far away, 160 points. So unless something drastic happened today. Okay. Okay, Chen Kui, is that what you want? Hope I answer you. Okay, so we got an idea now. Okay, good. Let's look at gold. Now this is gold. Wow. Okay, a lot of lines, right? So I need to do a bit of deleting already. One, Okay, so let's just face it. Okay, gold has really came down all the way and triggered by 61.8 at 1689. Okay, 1689. Very critical support, and the market really goes there. So two prongs. When you see a very huge dive down, and the market reverse with a tail, a long tail. The last time you see this was back 2 years ago already, very long time ago. And I already told some of you guys that if after a big dive down, watch the OP of the day. If the market stays above OP, you can do a punt, P-U-N-T, to buy. I repeat, yes, to buy. You heard me correctly. If the market after a big sell-off, any other day, if the market stays above OP, today will be a day for punting, for buying. So only if it stays above OP. If the market stays below OP, that's it. The market will sell again. Please remember that. It's very, very important. Now, if you ask me now, Cal, how high will it go? Now, since the market rejected 1689, then by Fibonacci, it will go back to 1762. So which means that, yes, you heard me correctly. Today now is trading at 1734, right? If you ask me if the gold stays above OP, gold can go back up to 1762. All right, so I can write it down for you now. Gold. Gold, if can stay above OP, there is a possibility to see 1762. If below OP, further downside. Okay, I already given you the view already. Okay. All right, at least you can see that I'm very open with my views. I tell you whatever I see and I type it for you. I think, wow, like that, good service, right? The question is this, okay, if the equity market is to plunge, example, will the gold be affected? Definitely. But if let's say the equity market really sells and the gold doesn't go down, wow, I can tell you that if the equity market recovers, gold will shoot up very fast. Can you understand my simple English? All right, can you understand? For those who understand what I just said about gold and equity market, can you, if you understand, please key understand. All right, I repeat myself one more time. If gold, if equity market is a sell down later, will gold come down? Yes, it will. But if let's say the equity market sell down and gold doesn't come off, and later on, if equity market recovers, gold will shoot up. Can you understand? If you can understand, please key the word understand. Okay, wow, okay, there's quite a few understand. Anthony, Eric, Louis, Janet, Fred, Susan, Eileen. Oh, long time no see. Eileen, how are you? Okay, Carl, Toming, Karen, understand. Cheng Hui, Vincent, Min Hui, understand. Okay, excellent. That's so cool. All right. So that is what I'm seeing right now because you look at RSI and stuff like that. All right. So those who actually in the Carl, you're here, right, Carl? Can you help me to text those people that those under the Endgame Goal Challenge? Text them and say that do remember what Cal said during Sunday's sharing about punt, P-U-N-T. All right. So in case they forgot. Okay. All right. Thank you, Jerry. Weekly chart wise, you can see very clearly right now is that it came down all the way, target the key point technical level and now recover. Okay. All right. So same thing again, 1762 is the weekly chart 50%. All right. Do you notice this? The 1762, the 1762 50% is the same one over here. It's the same one. Huh? Okay. Weekly chart, daily chart is the same because the way of drawing is the same. Okay. All right. So for today's goal, you can look at the day chart for today. Now, today is very interesting. Today is very, very interesting. Okay. Do you notice this? Do you notice that our pivot today is very far away? Now, who really draw pivot like that? Who draw pivot so far away? Who will draw this insane pivot? Only us. Okay. Because our pivots are all technical, fundamental reason. So technical, mathematic reason. Right, based on patterns. So today is very clear. Today, as long gold stays above OP, above pivot 1, CCRY is a buy. Right? And we have the KSI rate. So that means the upside will be limited to KTR plus 1 to KTR plus 3. Okay, limited. The only thing is that, can you see a KCX is blinking at the bottom? And you see the blue bars is retracing. So I can say this, as long as the market stays above OP today, I won't short the gold, sorry. I won't short the gold. As long as today market stays above OP, I won't short the gold. Are we clear with that? Okay, by rule, it is like that. Now, what if the market goes below OP? Can we short the gold? No, because why? It's still above pivot 1. If you want to short gold on discretional note, then go ahead. I can't stop you. Okay, are we clear with that? So that is how I will see the gold trading for today. Again, silver, I already told you silver, if you can buy silver to keep below at 24, buy a little bit, 23, buy some, 24, 22, buy even more. So silver came down all the way, but it misses my target at $22, missed by a bit. So will silver recover? Well, it will. But the thing is that, right, you can see that it's much more battered down. It's trading below the 61.8. So that means that it's actually into the bear, so-called the selling territory. So the market, the downside pressure will be there. Okay, so if you ask me for silver, for the sake of, excuse me, for the sake of buying, because of it being a companion of gold, you can try to buy some. But if you ask me, is it a silver time? Is it a good time to buy silver? Well, at least you can see now from the RSI reading, it is still okay. So if you're going to buy silver, make sure it's above OP of the day, then you buy. Above OP of the day, then you buy. Okay, clear on that? Because we can see right now, right, in terms of the momentum, this is the same. Same. Hit the RSI at the lower end, and then dive down, and now it's trading above OP. It's trading above OP, right? So all these are the hallmark of a potential recovery. Okay, all these are the hallmark of a potential recovery. That's why I say traders observe the opening price for today, especially if the equity market fall and it doesn't fall, or for the commodity market. Very, very important. Huh? Okay. All right. So I've given you my fuel for today. Last one will be crude oil. Crude oil has continued to drop a little bit, but yesterday came down to $65. Not too sure how many of you have buy, because I told you $65 is MA 200 level, and this is a good level to go. Now for MLP for today, you can see that it's about $66.85. So my point is this: for people who want to buy the who want to buy crude for long distance trading, right? You must understand that where you're coming from. Technical is technical. If you hit technical point, you buy, fine. So yesterday, crude oil hit $65 perfectly, and then rebounded all the way up to $66.59. So up $1.50 exactly from the low that I mentioned. All right. So of course, some of you asked me, but I'm quite sure you didn't buy it, right? If you have bought it, it'll be lovely. So now the thing is this: will it go down back again? I think it will. I repeat, it will. I suspect that it will come down again to $65. Now again, when it hit that point itself, right, will it stay there and get itself supported, right? I don't know, but I know that likely it will go back down to $65. Okay? Okay, okay. All right, so I basically covered all the technical grounds. I hope that you enjoyed the session. Usually my technical sharing for 1 hour, so full 1 hour talking about the technical aspect. I hope you like it. Now we're going to go right into the next segment, will be the fundamentals and the news and stuff like that. For those who love alternate market views, you want to stay on until the last slide, because that is where we will look at how the bonds compare itself with the current market with the 1987 Dow Jones crash. Okay, so give me 10 seconds only for water break. Okay, let's go. All right, good to know that you are busy, Eileen. Stay strong, huh? Stay effective in trading. All right, so let's look at all the news right now. Okay, first of all, we have our TWB announcement yesterday, 9th of August. The video is already available on the TWB revision group. All right, we yesterday talked about the ECN spread by AIM, so watch that and explain to you about ECN. We talk about our this next stock show is on the 21st of August, okay, on gold. All right, this time round, Benedict is already confirmed. Brother Yao Tong is still not confirmed yet because he has a very tight schedule for this month. All right, we'll let you know later on. If not, we'll still continue. We talk about our version 5 and version 5.88 very soon. And we also talk about our ignore this, my bad, our feedback form, okay? Feedback form. So we want you guys to participate in the feedback form. Today will be we will stop accepting new feedbacks by today. So I wish that everybody contribute on this. Now, yesterday we saw the JOLTS jobs opening. The number was better, but surprisingly, the job number was better, but the market don't like it, right? Because I told you, if the stronger numbers is there, then it makes a lot of sense for the US Federal Reserve to do some tapering. So that is one reason why a better number is not necessarily better for the economy, especially for now, if the market is talking about tapering. So the Dow Jones basically go down initially, down 200 points, then after that it recovers as usual. 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock, I can almost tell you this, I can say 90% time. Between 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock, these 2 hours, you can see my MAOs almost every time the market will be up, and almost, not 100%, but almost, okay? So let's look at S&P and the Dow Jones. We have a lot of news today. First of all, oil price dropped because of COVID concern. And then after that, that obviously pushed down all the energy sector like ExxonMobil, Chevron, Diamondback Energy, all dropped between 1.2% to 3.5%. Then of course, when the economy recovery is dented by the COVID cases right now, we saw 100,000 cases in America in a single day. All the cruise liners, airlines, all were hit, all right, between 1% to 2.5%. And of course, COVID is weighing heavily on the financial market, which we always know that. But interestingly, like Tesla went higher. So for people who buy Tesla, congratulations, Yuming, I think. All right, Berkshire Hathaway, they also climb out on solid earnings. They are still doing very well. And they make about $6.69 billion. That's a lot of money. Imagine that a business that do so much money, right? Because of all the business, all the net profits and stuff like that. So overall itself, right, they seem to be good because the labor department, the job side is good, openings is good, but the market take profit. So that is how the financial market works. Very confusing at times, but that's how it really works. And of course, but the Credit Suisse has said that they are looking at S&P to be 5,000. So they're looking at 4,006 this year, already a high level. This figure is all right, by looking at 5,000 by end of 2022, sorry, I corrected myself. They say that S&P will go to 5,000 by year 2022. Wow. So they already say that the market will go higher. So for traders, you may want to consider this as a data, okay? But do note, we're going to have big data on Wednesday and Thursday. That is the consumer price index and the producer price index. So let's just do a bit of coverage on what happened yesterday. Same thing, the market opens above pivot 2 by right. The KSI is green. We're supposed to be on the buy side, but unfortunately, the market, when it breaks below OP and below pivot 2. Now, when we say already, when the market goes below OP and pivot 2, there's only one thing to do is sell. All right, some of them make money, some of them lose money, but majority of them will be able to make profit because the day chart KSI is green, right? The day chart KSI is green. Can you see that? So you should take profit at KTR -1. And if you don't take profit KTR -1, you see all your profit will be evaporated. So that's the reason why it's very, very important to always believe in the KTRs and the KSI to give you the best way to trade. And I keep on reminding traders many, many times. So same thing once again, when the market comes back down, if the market cannot break KTR -1, it will go back up again. So then you understand why the KSI on the day chart is so important. I can do this 100 times. I can tell you the answer is 80 to 85 times. It will still follow whatever we say. I'm not kidding you. All right. Now for gold yesterday, on hindsight, we saw the doji, we saw the directional day, we saw the market resisted at the KSL level. All these are hindsight, but indeed the gold plunge. And same thing again, when the gold plunged below pivot 2, below OP, no matter what it tell me, it's a sell. That's why when the gold was coming down, right? When it broke the pivot 2 at 1734, I keep on reminding traders, don't buy, let it slide. It was only until here itself, what causes me to buy? Because I realized that the market have too long chopstick tail. And normally we see this, we know that the market likely got buyers inside. So on a very, very personal, discretional note, I buy myself, all right? But I didn't tell, I didn't share because I don't think that it's the right way to do. Only later on itself, I keep on reminding traders, don't short the market because why? The KSI turned green, blue bars no longer existing. That means we know that the boys are coming in. And truth be told, the boys came in to almost buy up the entire sell wave at this 15-minute bar. So by the end of the day, the market went sideways, and I believe that today, as long as gold stays above OP, it will be a buy. So for the locals and global news, sorry, we have Boston Federal Reserve. Boston Fed basically says that, right, it is a very good time now to really look towards tapering. They say that this is getting way out of hand, and this is how it looks like. And he says that, right, this is a good time to really do it, because if not itself, right, the bond purchases are no longer helping to create jobs. All right, it's no longer. In fact, instead, it's actually driving up prices, like, like stock market going higher. And of course, home prices going so fast become unaffordable. So that is a very true thing. So he's saying that, but do understand he is a Republican. So that's why he is like going against it in a way. So, and another one is a Democrat senator, which is very, very interesting, Joe Manchin. He also expressed concern. Now, normally we don't have Democrats saying this when the Democrat president is in the House, but apparently he says that. So that also tells you that more people are looking at you should stop doing this buying, because it doesn't really help. And if you continue to do that itself, right, the market will not be able to react, and this will create inflation, and that will create more problem. This is a very good article. If you want to have time, read this article, all right, okay? Now, Goldman Sachs but says that this recovering fast is good, and it's very good for labor. So Goldman Sachs says that, right, he sees they're seeing the unemployment data go to 4.1%, and he expects to be more jobs coming in, and this will bring the rates much, much better, and this will forecast and bring the stock market even higher. So that's from Goldman Sachs. But if you look at it carefully, I cannot see how Goldman Sachs sees this, but of course, if you're looking for the high point or low end, yes, indeed, we are actually at the lower rug right now. But you look at it, right, in terms of before COVID, and before COVID is here, this is during an average out of the COVID numbers, non-COVID time, we are still at a very high level. So what I'm trying to say is that if, let's say, more people go back to work, right, definitely this will be good. But the only question is this: more people go back to work, but there's so many companies bankrupted. How are you going to find a job? Unless the current company now expand, then it's possible. So that's why I say that, right, if you look at it, right, we are still very far away in terms of relative. But again, if you look on next year, then maybe yes. For next year, I do see the market doing pretty well next year. Now, of course, now this is the one that everybody talking about now, Fundstrat, right? Fundstrat is one of the analysts, Tom Lee. Tom Lee is saying that he expects Bitcoin to go to 100,000, okay? Now, he says that Bitcoin has crossed the 200-day moving average, and says now that it's time to buy, okay? It's time to buy. He said that this is a very biggie thingy, so guys, you can try it on your own. You will see that whether or not what he says is true, okay? We'll cover this maybe tomorrow during our afternoon MAO. But the point is this: he's saying that this Bitcoin is a good buy right now, and he felt that, right, the play is simple, right? It's just going to be a big thing in the coming time. And he believed that all the Bitcoin related counters like this Coinbase will do well. So maybe this Cathy Wood will be making a lot of money again. So with all these things tells you that once the Bitcoin is going to go past 50,000, I'm sure the market will go back into that of I must buy again, and that will push up the entire market once again. And of course, Coinbase shares will go up, which includes even Robinhood shares. Robinhood shares are going up, right? Because all these are all technology meme stocks, so it is possible. All right, so what's the reason stay bullish? We have many good reasons. Oops, sorry. There are many good reasons to stay bullish. Just give me a moment. Okay, so Santoli says that, the S&P now is holding above a very key level for the bulls. So you say that just a modest slippage, but basically it's all about the recovery and reopening plays. And it says that, right, as long as the market stays above 43.70, it will be a very bullish. So 43.70 is about the same level we mentioned earlier, but it's cash market, so traders take note of that. He's saying that the reason is because the jobs are moving, which you saw that, and the index is now going higher. Now, the last time we see 11 straight weekly gain high is since 1985. Now we're at the 6th placing right now. Okay, we are still moving up very, very strongly. Okay, this is not this 11 week. We are here. Sorry, the last time we saw the highest time was 16 weeks. That's in 1997 during the bull market. Yeah, 1997 during the Asia financial crisis. But that was the market where the Dow kept on going up higher before the Asia financial crisis. okay, in October. Okay, so you can see that now the put call CBOE ratio, so you can see not only we are looking at it, in fact, many people are looking at it, it's showing that it's going upwards. So it seems to be everything is still safe according to Santoli. He says that, right, at the moment now the liquidity indicator is at the lowest end reading. So all this tells you that the market are a bit complacent, but still within accepted area. Then the bond market and now the extreme inflows of treasuries are building up. So because the yield is actually going up, right, means the bonds coming off in price. So which means that people are taking away from the bond market. That means they're not worried, according to Santoli. So that means that there should be more money going to the equity market. So of course, historically, August is known to be the tough month, but still overall it's okay. And he felt that S&P is less expensive on the forward price earnings. So all these have basically tell you that market breadth has improved, the VIX is fine. So, you know, when you want to be bullish article, you write everything that's bullish, and this is what he says. So it's a bit different what he said 2 weeks ago, but again, no need to bother. Just remember that this is the latest copy. Fundstrat normally is definitely very bullish. Okay, he is definitely very bullish. He says that the coronavirus now is just moving, and you'll hit its peak. One is hit its peak already. That is the best time to buy shares, because if there's a peak, that means it has to come down, right? The economy is going to go up, do very well, and that's where the stock price will go higher. So to him, is that the higher the level go, the better it is, because after that itself, right, we will see a big rally, which I can say that he's very unique to see on that point, but he's not wrong at all. In fact, it's pretty correct. So there is a video on this, but because I know that you guys have problem of watching the video whenever I play it, I will play it later on during the afternoon session. Okay, so in short, he is very bullish. He believes that once the variant, the Delta variant hit a high level, a peak especially, that's a great time to buy out. And in fact, he says that, right, based on the University of Washington Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation, it says that likely this week will be the top week. So interesting. All right, so watch out for that. Maybe the market is a good time to buy. Okay, after a big some correction. All right, so we come to the alternate market views. So what are the alternate market views for today? Well, there's a few. This is from Rich Bernstein. So you see, which one guy called for buy, one called for sell. Who is this guy? This is how he looks like. Okay, he's an institutional investor Hall of Fame, and he says that the market is going to go down. In fact, he said that this is the biggest bubble in his career. But FYI, before you judge him, he's actually with this Merrill Lynch. Okay, he is with Merrill Lynch. Now he's saying that the Federal Reserve has distorted the long end curve for a very long time, and he felt that the Bitcoin is a bubble, so very different from what Tom Lee says. And he felt that, right, this is a bubble, and people become myopic, and because of that itself, right, people start to buy. So in his point, he felt that, right, this is going to be probably a big major movement. He felt that the Bitcoin is really a major bear, but people just don't see it on the point. So we'll cover this more again tomorrow during our MAO, but he's saying that the market is a sell. All right, but of course, you look at this right now. Yesterday, we saw gold plunge, right? Yesterday, the payroll was okay. Then after that, the gold then after that, it came down because of the non-farm payroll. Then after that, on the Monday morning, the market just slammed down. Likely it's an order thrown out of the market during the Asia time. But you notice that after the big sell-off, right, the volume was incredible. But after that, the buyout came in already. So all he's trying to say is that, right, this is just a sell order, but the market is still there. But most important thing is this. You notice that the physical gold did not budge. That means that yesterday, we have all the selling of gold from the paper gold coming down so much, right, down $100. But still, the physical gold didn't move at all. The physical gold is still trading at 1,008. So what I'm trying to say is this, that means the paper gold is actually behind the physical gold, and there is a good chance that the paper gold may go back to the physical gold level. So traders, that is a good part and bad part of trading physical gold and paper gold. Paper gold, very easy to be manipulated. Physical gold, as long as you there's no reason to panic, you can just stay on it. So that is the big difference here. Okay, can you see that? Huh? Okay, so now we saw this. This is always the one that confuses people. Now, do note, okay, this is the real yield inverted. That means that when you see this number is going down, it means the yield is going up. Right? It's just inverted. So we did say that the real yield inverted will come down, meaning the yield will go up, right? I told you it will hit 1.35%. But I thought that gold will go up instead. But instead, gold came down. It was because of Friday, the non-farm payroll data that causes it, and plus the the so-called 4 billion sell-off that bring the whole gold down. But to me, later on, right, in my opinion, I say my opinion, I suspect that gold will go back up and the real will continue, the real inverter will come down. So I still believe that gold will go up to 1,015 to 1,009 later on. Okay, so of course at this current price, it's a good time to buy. Well, to me, for those who can buy for long term, why not? Especially where you know that the physical gold got no movement at all. That is the reason why I'm telling you this. You can consider to do if you want to do that. Okay. Now, of course, you see let's show to you really the 10-year yields is going up. So that's why this chart show down, because it's inverted of the 10-year real yields. Okay, so the real yield is actually going up. And of course, you say, oh, because the gold come down because the dollar strengthened. Well, dollar did strengthen, but when the gold came down, right? When the gold came down, the dollar went up a little bit. After that, the dollar came down, the gold went sideways and recovered a little bit. So it's not really the dollar that basically make the gold price down so much. It's not that. It's just an order that came in and that causes it. So now with the dollar going up, the gold coming down, all right, and the yield going up itself, right? So things start to be a bit like, moving back to normal. If you went back to normal, then equity market should also go back to normal. Last two slides. Now, stocks are soaring on hopes that vaccine can defeat Delta. That's why you can see that the technology shares are going up. But energy is plunging on fears that the Delta will never be defeated. So that's why you can see oil price coming down. So the question is are we looking at this COVID Delta to be defeated or not defeated? So that's why this is very interesting. So which side are we on? So one side is saying this, one side is saying that, because if you're looking at it to be, if you think that the vaccine can defeat the Delta, then the crude oil should be going higher, right? Why is it coming down? So again, that is usually the problem that what's happening in the market. Okay. All right, this is something that you must understand. Huh? Okay, last chart is this one here, I have promised to you. This is what you're seeing right now. That this is the what they did is that they superimposed 1987 with the market right now. Okay, so if you look at it, it's seemingly telling us that, okay, there is a possibility that the market will go even higher, right, until October period, then a repeat of what happened in 1987 to happen. But of course, please don't read too much into this. We have seen this doing this every other time. They have been trying to put it in 1929, 1937, 1987, 2020. They always try to do this just to do that, to make you like, oh, okay. So of course, the boy will cry wolf, all right? It's always like that. The boy will cry wolf after many, many times. You will get sick of it, but just don't care. But then again, that's where the wolf comes. So all I can say is this. To me, this sort of charts is good to just for entertainment sake, because it will happen one day, but we don't know when. So we just take note of that. If it happens, should happen, then you have something to fall on to. If it doesn't happen itself, right, just take it as a pinch of salt. Okay, a big grain of salt. So all I can tell you is this is just a sharing here. Don't get too dwell over it, okay? I'm just saying that, right, likely there should be some profit taking today or tomorrow. Then maybe after that, when the market hit all the MAs, it may actually do a rebound. All right, that will be all for today. I'll see you guys later on for our Super Tuesday. We'll look in great detail on how to use the MA30 and MA200 in a better way. Okay, that'll be all for today. Thank you so much for today's MAO. This is Cal signing off. Bye-bye.